Mike, turn your games down.
Hi, we're doing another movie episode of Games My Mom Found. I am Mike Albertin, who's a punk with me tonight.
I'm Secret Court of Owl member Joe Butler.
And I can't believe I watched this, Kenneth Sanity.
And we are here to cover a movie that I made us cover. Batman vs. Robin, the 2015 animated superhero film. Another Batman movie. A DC Universe original. Directed by Jay Leva. Yeah, I mean, it's the part of the New 52 DC Universe. And it's the one that, and it's part of the Batman, it's the second of the Batman stuff. Of the four Batman movies. Or four main Batman movies.
Yeah, very, very bold to have the introduction of Damian Wayne and then have the next movie called Batman versus Robin.
I want to we'll get into that right now. I really do not like this title of this movie. I think it's a bad title. I think the title is stupid. So I was watching some of these movies when they came out. I met my wife. I don't remember when exactly. I think it was around this time, like 2015, 2016. I can't remember what exactly we met, but I was sailing the seven seas. And I watched Son of Batman, but I didn't watch this movie on the seven seas. Like I stopped, and I think by the time this came out, I'd already moved on. And I had never gotten around to this movie. I mean, I have HBO Max now. Like it's been sitting there, and I've been meaning to watch it. But because of the title, I was not interested. The title just threw me off and made me not care. And I think that's a disservice to this movie that it would have been called something else and didn't have Batman and Damien fighting on the cover. I would have been much, much more interested.
They're fighting though.
Yes, but okay, we'll get into it if we talk, but like this movie is very much of a father and son movie and about a father that doesn't really know how to be a father because, well, surprise, your son's 10 or 12, whatever, however old Damien is, and I think it does a good job of that. Plus, Batman's an idiot at times, so.
Batman's an idiot. Damian Wayne's a piece of shit.
Oh God, yes.
There's a joke that I make about like how people who didn't have parents sometimes don't make the best parents. My other case in point is Harry Potter, but that's a whole other story that I don't want to get into.
But yeah, no, I mean, it's, when you become a parent, raising a kid, very much you learn what, you learn too as you go. I mean, when I had my son, I didn't know what the hell I was doing. And, we both were figuring out parenthood. And it's the same, but, he was born and he was there. It wasn't like, hey, guess what? He's 10. Here you go. But it's the same, like that idea that portrays it. I like that, but I don't like it on the cover. And I don't like it being the focus of the title of the movie. It just bothers me because the movie is so much more about, Bruce Wayne figuring out how to be a father. Bruce Wayne figuring out, Bruce Wayne figuring out how to be Batman and treat Damien better. I mean, and Damien is just an asshole and trying to figure out how to keep being an asshole because he doesn't know any better or care.
Yeah.
But there's also a completely different thing, which is like, there's nothing wrong with like, if someone's like, hey, you need to take care of your illegitimate child now, and he's like 12 and all this other stuff. See, that's also not the issue. The issue is that this kid has been raised like as a baby, and as soon as he could crawl, they put a knife in his hand. So he's also a smart ass who thinks he knows everything.
So you put all those things together, and they all equal bad.
Yeah, like it's just going to be a problem when all of a sudden you've inherited a child who A, thinks he knows better than you because he's been trained by the best assassins his entire life. Although
that part is true.
And like,
as long as they don't have guns.
Damien goes into this movie with a huge chip on his shoulder because he's been trained to control the League of Shadows. So this Batmaning stuff is still very new to him. And he's trying not to kill. He's making a token effort, but he's just complaining the entire way. He's just from Bob's Burgers. Fine, I'll go, but I'm just going to complain the entire way.
This movie also has one of the big things that I hate that usually happen in most media, where hey, something happened. Damien, what happened? Well, you see, Father, no, I don't want to hear it. Shut the fuck up, you small child. And it's like, look,
oh God,
if you guys would just have a goddamn conversation in this whole movie, like half this movie wouldn't have happened.
No, but it also is a lot about like, it reminded me a lot of fatherhood with a teenager. I mean, my son's 15. He doesn't live with me or anything, as I've said on the show before, but it reminded me of that whole idea of as your child becoming a teenager, except this version of your teenage child is also a trained assassin.
Yeah, so there's some baggage. There's some baggage.
he's not the best father to begin with. There's that too. I mean, Batman. Like, what Batman does, in this continuality, there's only Dick Grayson, who became Nightwing, who he took as a kid and trained him to kill, or not kill, but to fight, and then he took his son and then trained his son to fight but not kill anymore. I mean, you really shouldn't train any boy to start, beating the shit out of people. So, hey, but hey, it's another story.
Damian Wayne, as far as Robins go, he is the fourth Robin?
Oh no, he's like the sixth.
Well, the fourth main one.
The fourth main one.
Yeah,
you got what's his bucket?
You got
Grayson.
Dick, Jason, Tim, then you get to Damien.
Yeah.
Yeah, they usually skip Stephanie, and I don't remember what the other one was. She's in the Harley Quinn movie.
Oh, there's Carrie.
Cassandra.
Oh, yeah.
And Carrie's always the bottom of the list because she's in the future.
Yeah, well, she doesn't count. Like, that's Dark Knight Returns stuff.
Yeah.
But, like...
My other issue with the title is that I didn't even know what this movie was even based on. Like, I had no idea. I mean, since we've been talking, we have mentioned, there's been conversation that we've had on this podcast that have mentioned, like, okay, this was the Court of Owls arc. But, like, that really should have been somewhere in the title. I mean, I don't know. It's like normally when you have a Batman story or any comic book story, you usually are going to showcase the villain. Hell, if Joker was in this, Joker would have been straight on that damn cover.
Yeah.
Yep. He would have been, like, holding a gun with a flag flying out. But, no, it was the Court of Owls. The Court of Owls. The goddamn Court of Owls.
I still feel like it's one of the not used enough villains. I know it's in other stuff. I know it's in Gotham Season 2, which I never finished, still to this day. And I think it plays more in Gotham later on. And I know it's in the new Batman game that came out, not around the time of recording this, that I can't think of. Gotham Knights. I know it's in there too, right?
Yeah.
Court of Owls?
Yeah.
But I feel like overall it's not a super it hasn't been in a movie yet, like a big live action movie yet, where it's super well known by people.
No, and honestly, every time they do Court of Owls in something that isn't the comic book, I want to throw up.
Well,
because they don't. Court of Owls is one of my very, very favorite Batman stories. We've covered it on this podcast. I enjoyed talking about it. Love that story.
Good.
I don't know what the hell this is.
This, I believe, is the new 52 iteration of Court of Owls.
Court of Owls starts in New 50. Is the New 52 first arc. This is their different take on it.
Okay, and it's like I don't mind doing it in this because there's a bunch of short movies, and I understand. But these movies have the same issue that I have with most Marvel movies, which is, we're gonna take like a really big villain and like not really explain them very well, and then we're gonna kill them off at the end of the movie.
Yeah. I mean, I'm okay with it in this atmosphere. First thing I want to talk about before we get into the whole Court Owl start is I want to talk about how this movie opens up with a doll maker. And you have a whole little, like, 10, 15-minute scene where Robin, you see the Batmobile cruising, then you find out it's Robin driving it. And I laugh when he's like, I could have you arrested for Grand Theft Auto. Oh, how's that going to work? You going to call the police? Say, yeah, my son stole the Batmobile. Okay, I laughed at that one. I'm like, good point. Like, how are you going to call the police? Like, come on now.
Like 100%, this was the best part of the damn movie.
I thought of you immediately, Ken, because it felt like something that could have fit in a more horror movie version of Batman.
Mm-hmm.
He goes and he breaks into a toy factory because he did detective work. Damien did, the little punk. And you have like them putting together these clues, and all of a sudden you see kids in freaking cages, and then this weird ass guy comes out with a freaking doll face on, and he reminded me a lot of the character from Haunting Ground too, from that villain that stalks you. It had that same type of feeling, but this guy wasn't mentally challenged that way. He was challenged in other ways. He didn't want to just hold you like a doll. He wanted to cut off your hands and arms and make you into a doll.
Yeah, and it was grotesque. Like this entire opening scene was just pretty awesome.
It's well done.
Mm-hmm.
I have never seen a take on the doll maker like that before.
No.
I also don't read enough comics. I've never read a comic with him in it, but I've seen him he's been in a lot of other stuff. I think he's in Smallville at some point. He's in Arrow. They like to use that villain as a throwaway villain a lot in DC stuff that I've seen.
Yeah, and isn't Dollmaker the one who cuts off Joker's face?
In New 52, yes.
Yeah. So like he plays important roles when he does show up. Eventually. and just it was just so creepy. And the voice that they got for this role, oh my god,
it's well done. I mean, and the way the guy's like, he's like Anton, he's like Anton's dead, and the whole idea is that he was abused by his father, who was also the doll maker, and that's partly why he became like this, because of child abuse, essentially.
Yeah. And what a hell of a performance from Mr. Weird Al Yankovic as
that was Al Yankovic.
Yes.
Wow.
Like, see, that's how good he is. You don't know.
No, I saw him in the credits when I pulled Wikipedia, but I'm like, who the hell is Al Yankovic in this? But wow, okay, that is not. Now I gotta rewatch this a third time later. At least that intro.
Watch it as many times as you want to. It's gonna shock you every time.
It's so good. I mean, it that part really stood out to me, and it was just so well done. And I'm like, and then like Damien, fighting himself. Like, okay, do I kill him? Do I, he's trying not to kill, even though Dollmaker deserves to die for what he's done. Like, you see these kids that pop out of cages that are like deformed. Like, some of them you can tell they're missing their hands and they have saw blades now attached to them. It's like he cut off their arm.
I think he knocks the mask off one of them and their face is all fucked up too.
Yeah. I mean, they're all deranged essentially because, they were forced into these, horrific experiments and, pretty much convinced like, okay, time to start, you work for me. Like Stockholm Syndrome, essentially, like to an extreme.
Yeah. And then Batman beats the fuck out of some kid.
But he gasses them. He doesn't kill anybody.
He doesn't kill him, but he beats the shit out of them. Like the few before he gasses them?
Yeah. It's a good scene.
It's a funny scene. You have my least favorite part of this movie where Damien ends up going up to the doll maker and he thinks about it and he takes out a batarang, which I always complain are like way too sharp. And he doesn't kill the doll maker, but someone else shows up to rip his heart out, and is he technically count as the main villain of the movie?
Yes.
I guess.
I mean, he's a Talon. He's the only living Talon, essentially. But yeah, it's not the character from the comics. But yeah.
He's the Talon.
Yeah. As far as this movie's concerned, he is Talon.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so he fucks off, and you have Bruce, who is supposed to be the world's greatest detective, and going, "Oh my God, Damien, you killed him," even though the batarang is completely spotless of blood.
Yeah, I mean, and you can look at I guess he was laying on his stomach, but you should be able to see that the puncture wound is, not a batarang.
Yeah.
But I took it more as, Batman just he's letting his feelings in a way get to him because part of him probably feels responsible because it's his son type of thing. So he doesn't respond the way that he should respond in the situation. He's not looking at it with a cool head.
No, not at all.
And that's something you see a lot in this movie. I mean, normally Batman, he has his emotions, but this movie really does a good job of having him show his emotions constantly. He makes a lot of mistakes in this movie.
Yeah.
And most involve Damien.
Well, given that Damien himself was a mistake. Ooh.
He also was pretty much raped in a way, but yes. They had to add for some reason, but I get it, but still. He's a playboy philanthropist. I believe he had sex before women. It's not, but that's a whole other thing.
Yeah, but still, man, if you're a billionaire vigilante, fucking wrap it up, dude. Or get a prenup.
No, it's what is it? Batman male birth control. He always has like a tablet in like his belt.
Oh my God.
Batman right?
Plan B.
Here, take this.
So he takes
Plan
it.
B is for Plan Batman.
It's Plan R for no Robins.
God.
But I like the stuff they do with it. There's some cool. I feel like there's some cool stuff with it. It's just the whole atmosphere of seeing Batman react as a father. I do like it in this movie. Like this, I thought it was good in most of the aspect of it. And then this movie does like it again. Like as I was complaining about, I'm going to complain more about. That's one reason why the title bothered me so much is that for the longest time I really thought this movie was a lot about them fighting each other when it's really not.
But it's about conflicting ideologies.
It's about Batman's a shitty father.
Yeah, they have a couple of arguments because, like, the next scene is Batman having dinner with a random woman from, like, city council, I guess. I don't know. Does she really say what she is before she reveals?
They never
who she is?
say who she is. I don't think so.
No,
As
they
far
do.
as what she does during the day.
Yes.
Yeah.
They leave
Yeah.
that to you to make your own decision on.
Yeah, but I say that because Bruce does this thing where he's like, "You want to see my big dick city plan that I'm not supposed to show to anyone, but I'll show it to you because you had dinner with me."
Yeah, but at this point, they've been going out for like 3 months. Like, they even said, Bruce was like, no, you make me laugh. And she was like, well, after 3 months, I hope so. So, like, they've been going out for a minute.
That's a good. That was a good scene, though. I liked her at first. So
She's trouble. She's trouble.
oh God, she's big trouble. But she was. I thought she was a good character for what. Like, I like the idea of seeing him just with a random woman again. And and him having a relationship for a change again. Like, I like that. I thought that was good because you don't always get that with Batman. Where they try to show like what you have like him faking it, like, oh, look at all these women I got. But actually him like trying to really pretend. You're not in this case. I shouldn't say no, he's not pretending. He's actually having a relationship with this woman, even though he didn't tell her he has a son.
Yeah, I think that's the other really big issue that I have with this movie is like Bruce specifically goes out of his way just to be like, oh no, Damien's not my son. He's another ward. There's no relation between the two of us, even though if you look at photographs of me as a child, we look exactly the same.
It's weird, almost like copy the art.
Yeah.
He's got my nose, but nope, totally no blood.
It's not like this Playboy would have random kids. No way you would know about it. I'm not married. I would not have kids out of wedlock.
Yeah, because it's not like anyone knows who Talia is. So if it's like, oh yeah, someone dropped a kid at my door and said it was mine, and I did a DNA test and it was, who's the mom? I don't know. That's not the paparazzi's business.
Oh, it's just a weird take, and like, I mean, I think this movie does a decent job of working in the Court of Owls storyline and having Talon, which is not the same Talon as the comic, which is I didn't like as much, but like having him trying to thwart Damien to the dark side, essentially.
Oh yeah, Talon sweeps in with that big stepdad energy.
I didn't have a problem with Talon in this. I was hoping it would be the same Talon from the comic. Of course, it wasn't. But I would have liked that, but I still like Talon in this. I didn't have a problem with him.
See, okay, my problem is, Court of Owls, yes, we've already talked about it. I love Court of Owls storyline. Is it fundamentally stupid? Oh, yeah. It's big dumb. Because you have somebody who's claiming to be Bruce Wayne's brother coming out in literally out of nowhere. And you have this secret society that lives in the walls of Gotham, and it's fundamentally a dumb story. But the way it was executed was just so good. This is not at all.
I disagree.
It lacks the history. That's my problem.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
The comic establishes the Court of Owl, like it gives it a sense of history. Oh, this person is a Talon. They're, Dick's great whatever, grandparent, uncle, whatever. It's a member of the Grayson family. This Talon was, another founding member of Gotham. Then we cut to the movie. This Talon was just some dude.
Some kid who turned in his father.
Just some kid that we found out, and he probably steal, tires off the Owl Mobile or whatever.
No, I mean, yeah, it's very much like that, and I can get that complaint with it. I completely agree with you, like that. I like the idea that the fact that the Court of Owls, I mean, because it ends up being their undoing because they make a comment to him later on, which leads to all their problems, and they're like, yeah, we just found you in the gutter. You're gutter trash. Like, oh, I am, huh? So I thought that was a cool idea that these people were that stupid, which again fit Filthy Rich, I thought. Mm-hmm. I like that this movie, I like the fact the Court of Owls are just a bunch of filthy rich people, mostly white people that are just bad, which I kind of like that idea of filthy rich white people that are bad. So
There's also children.
Oh yeah, there was children in the comic too, though. So that was
Yeah.
too surprising. I was just glad that they, stuck to their guns with that.
I don't know. I like the concept more than I expected in this too. I mean, I felt that I like the stuff with Talon. I like how you have Talon keep popping up and just planting seeds. You have Batman who sneaks off at one point, leaves Damien, and you have him essentially get his ass handed to him by a few different zombie version of Talons and almost get killed.
Zombie stuff was weird.
That was a good scene. I mean, it was weird because he kills people. I mean, they're already dead, so you're not killing them per se. But he throws explosives and blows them up, and I'm like, Batman, that's not the Batman way.
Yeah, but I think at that point he already knows that they're zombies essentially.
I guess when you see the guy put his arm back together after I guess that helps. Because you see the one guy's face, but he doesn't see all their faces. So I'm thinking you don't know they're all zombies, but I guess when you see the guy dislocate and put his arm back together and stuff, you start to put two and two together.
Yeah. And the one who blew up was the one whose mask came off. So I guess there's at least.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, he already knew, this guy's not human. He's dead, obviously. Can't kill a dead man twice.
I do like the way that it does prove also that Bruce is completely capable of killing people if he really wants to.
Oh, yes. I mean, yeah. He's not that far. I feel like he's never really that far away from it.
What's the joke? Batman, you have really sharp things at the ends of your arms. Oh no, these just put people to sleep.
It's nap time. Stabs.
I don't know. Whenever you think of Batman killing, I always think of the Killing Joke when the joke with the flashlight at the end of that. But yeah, that's what I always think.
Oh, look, another comic that's been irretrievably ruined by the movie. Wow.
The Killing Joke?
Yeah, he doesn't like the movie.
Yeah, The Killing Joke's not that good of a movie, but I think it's because people don't like the first half.
Yeah, that's why.
Yeah, the first half can eat an entire bowl of assholes. Anywho.
I can't wait. I like that movie. So, but that's another story. But no, I just think the idea that they're using Talon, Talon's whole plan, this whole movie is just to get Damien as a tool to get to, Batman, which again makes sense. It's villains actually being smart for a change. They're really using the abilities that they have. They're using Batman's weakness against him to try to get to him. And I really like that concept in this.
I will give it that. I enjoyed the idea, the thought that went into this, the execution, not so much. The whole. I joked earlier that he's coming in with big stepdad energy.
He is.
And it is. And I don't know. It's just some kind of. I don't know. It's kind of icky.
The whole thing when he gives them one of his size that he knows Batman will see and wonder why the hell do you have this, and he does that on purpose to help see the distrust between them. I mean, you see the scene of Damien trying to escape from the mansion, and there's a security fence, and then the wall kind of comes apart, and then you have and right after that you have the small scene where Batman's trying to bond with him. He's like, oh, we're gonna watch a movie together, and we're gonna have popcorn. 2 bowls, it's cute things, and then he's like, and then Damien, I like how a little bit after Damien's like, what you really think watching a movie is gonna make us bond? It's a good scene because it shows, Batman trying to be a father, but not really knowing what he's doing. And, I felt I could relate a lot to that. And I really like that scene.
I also like that Damien isn't also being helpful. It's not completely Bruce.
No. Damien's is a punk. I mean, there's no denying that in this movie at all. He's an ass.
Mm-hmm.
It's just I get it from the he's a teenager and everything else. It fits more that he should be such a. I don't know. I guess because I'm a father. I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm a father. I don't know. Plus, I like Damien for some reason. I don't know. I got nothing. But he's a punk. But it's great.
I like Damien.
I know Ken does not, but I liked him in this movie.
He's still a piece of garbage.
But I don't know. I also really how they worked in the origin thing. I mean, this is the one movie because again we got to see Batman's death of his parents again, which I complained about on this podcast before. But I was okay with it in this movie.
I think I had an issue with it.
What was your issue with it?
I'm fine with seeing I'm fine with seeing Batman's parents die and the things whatever. I think it's really weird that he's like, oh, my parents are dead, and then he looks up and he sees an owl eating a bat. that part was pretty weird. I think they could have not had that, but still had the really cool scene, because you have this moment where Bruce is like telling his dad, like, "Oh, I'm worried the Court of Owls is, after you guys and all this other stuff." But then again, I guess the point of the owl is supposed to be that to make it seem like the Court of Owls killed his parents.
Yes.
Mhm.
But I also like the scene where he decides to go up to the attic and the owl's been freaking him out the whole time, and Bruce ends up shooting it with an arrow.
That was a good scene. I mean, in the comic, the scene's a little more where he gets locked in the attic and he's found like over a week later or so, I think.
Oh.
Yeah, they really
Yeah, they butchered it.
a lot
Yeah, but
because he killed the owl in his own attic in Wayne Manor. In Harbor House, that's where he was locked in the attic for like a week. He almost died. Like, his search for the Court of Owls had more impact,
yeah.
had more history. Okay, I'll shut up about it now.
No, I agree with you. But I liked how they worked it in, and I liked the idea that it was connecting the Court of Owls to, like, and showing, as him being a young detective, and then, like, you have that scene where he's crying to Alfred in a kitchen I've never seen before, and he's just like, well, you don't always have an answer. And I just really liked the way they did it.
I always love the scene relationship between Alfred and Bruce.
Yeah.
At least in this one, it's a good relationship. And, shout out to Ducky from NCIS for doing a good job as Alfred in this one.
Oh.
Dave McCulloch. Dave McCulloch also played Ilya Kuryakin in the original show Man from U.N.C.L.E. It's good stuff.
Okay. No idea what that is either, but I did enjoy the take of it. Oh, it's just like, I thought it was good bonding stuff. And I thought it was good scenes. And then there is one scene that I really had a complaint with, where you have Bruce Wayne, and, he kind of figure out the owls are real because he fought a few Talons, and then he's going to go meet his girlfriend at dinner, and you have him. He realizes the cars are like chasing him, which is fine. I'm okay with that part. But then he does something really stupid, and he turns around to go after them, and I don't like that. I also don't like how he crashes his car not that far away. They kidnap him. I mean, that should be on the news. I mean, it was a little thing. I'm being a little nitpicky, but it bothered me that it wasn't more secretive that he was captured.
They do control the news.
They do control the news. Exactly the point I was going to make.
I could tell you one big issue I had with this movie, because it happens a lot.
Is it Damien Wayne?
Is it what?
Is it Damien Wayne?
No. Worse. It's the weird fact of always having it to where it's like, oh, Bruce, look, there's one woman you can trust. Yes, I do, in fact, love this woman. Oh, no, she masked the phantasm me.
Oh, no, my love betray. What do now? I no trust woman.
They
like,
didn't.
all of them.
Yeah,
all of them.
It's this, it's the Dark Knight Returns, Mask the Phantasm, probably like half of the Batman animated shows.
The whole thing with Catwoman.
Yeah.
God,
I mean,
damn it.
I also, I didn't see that coming throughout this entire movie until the end, when it finally, when you realize I did not see her, I did not think that she was going to end up betraying him. Even though, that's a regular Batman thing, it kind of caught me off guard.
Why would you? Court of Owls Grand Master is presumably a man, has a very man voice, but no.
Yeah.
But no. It's Bruce's girlfriend with a voice changer. And can we just never use voice changers again? No voice changers that fucking year.
And then the worst part is, even though she's dating Bruce, she's strupping Talon.
Yeah.
Oh, God, yes.
Batman... Okay, let's get this. I'm going to put it out on Front Street right now, right here.
Okay.
Comic book media, they don't like women. That's the sad fact.
No.
Women are treated badly in comic books and comic book stories and comic book movies. It's a bad thing. And for the love of Christ, just start doing better. I know this movie was from a while ago, but
2015,
not long enough to go.
Yeah.
Not long enough that I could be like, oh, it was a different time. Get fucked. Just do better.
It was 7 years ago, before the plague. That was a long time ago, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it gets better. Harley Quinn's backstory is no longer, that her backstory is that she's the Joker's ex-girlfriend now, instead of being like, oh, I'm just a crazy chick. So I guess it's getting better.
Okay, yeah. I mean, that's not much, but yes. It just, I don't even know what to say. I mean, they could have. I mean, I like the twist, but when you are right that they did women bad in this stuff.
They always do.
I mean, I liked it that she was cheating on him with talent. I thought I liked the power play that she's essentially, sleeping with men of power. But I guess at the same time, that can also be seen as, kind of sexist because she's, so using her sex to be, yeah. So, I mean, I get it too. It's derogatory too in that aspect.
Yeah, it's not a good look. But hey, you know where this doesn't happen? The Court of Owls comic.
Huh.
I was okay with it. Like, I thought it was cool that it turned, that she was the villain. Like, at first, I didn't realize she was a Grandmaster. When you first see her talking to Talon, my first watch of this movie, I just thought she was a member of the Court Owls. It wasn't until later that I realized she was the Grandmaster. Even though when I rewatched the movie, you see the cloak in the room when she's with Talon that she is the Grandmaster. I didn't put two and two together though.
No, I'll tell you when I figured it out. I was like, oh, this is where we're going, isn't it? Is whenever Bruce is driving to dinner and she's like, oh, Bruce, I can't wait for you to get here. Like, that's totally just like a setup.
Oh,
like,
I didn't get that.
I'll totally have him drive across the highway to meet me somewhere fucking far away so they can, like, abduct him on the highway.
I mean, they abduct him bad. So I like the idea of them trying to get him to join the Court Owls because that makes perfect sense.
That does make sense.
Because, it's a bunch of rich white people and they want another rich white man to join them.
Yeah, but why wait till Bruce is like 40? Why not do it when Bruce is like 17 and about to inherit the Wayne fortune?
Well, they make a comment that they were gone for a while and they just came back to Gotham.
Yeah.
Oh.
And he was gone for a while.
Yeah,
he was off doing Batman stuff, like becoming Batman.
Yeah. At this point, he would have been Batman. New 52 is weird sometimes to think about how that all continuality works.
I do math.
Ooh. Hey, there's a good reality show, guys. Becoming Batman. Just like a true crime documentary and how Bruce Wayne becomes Batman. Somebody out there make this happen for me. I think it'd be great. Be a good limited series for HBO Max.
And then when he puts a tracker in the mask, I mean, I was like, really? They don't notice that? But then it shows up at the movie progressions. They did realize he put a tracker in there. It's like, buddy, you put a glowing tracker in the mask that they handed you. They're going to put two and two together that there's, a tracker there.
Big red button.
I mean, like, you think he would, like, thrown it somewhere else and, like, dropped it on the floor or something, or somehow snuck something there that is, unobvious, not put it on the item that you are touching.
I don't know where that came from, guys.
Like, you think, you like, go to brush your hair, and then in your hand you have something small, you just brush your hair and throw it on a pillar. Like, something like that more hidden where somebody wouldn't notice what you did.
Yeah.
Oh, it was, again, little thing, but it bothered me. Or put it on the freaking pedestal, not on the mask that they handed you.
There's only so many places that they could possibly have been picked up, and it's not clever. It's not slick. Like, you're basically just, putting yourself out there on Front Street now.
But they don't even put two and two together until later. It isn't until when they see Damien, when Robin, because the whole thing is Talon trying to get Robin to join the Court of Owls. He brings him there, and then you have that scene where he has Damien take off his mask. That's when she clicks it and goes, that's his ward. It's Bruce Wayne as Batman.
This random white child with black hair must be the same one I saw for 2 seconds the other day.
Or maybe she did the thing that we all want her to. Oh my God, he looks just like Bruce's baby pictures.
I don't know. It was just, I do like all the stuff leading up to that. I mean, they had some good scenes, like when you have Batman tracking the tracker to get there. You have, scenes that are reminiscent of the comic. I mean, they're done differently and they're not done as good. Like, I'm with Ken in that part, even though I like the fact that they try to work him into this movie where you have him walking through the marble maze. You have him going to the fountain, of the big owl fountain. But I mean, it takes away the amazingness of that comic storyline when that happened. But it does a quick version of it that I felt worked. Not as good, of course, but it was still, I liked seeing it on TV.
How long was I out? 7 hours. Batman was lost for 3 weeks in that goddamn lab.
Yes.
Holy shit, really?
It's good.
Yeah.
You can read the comic.
Like, it actually meant something that he was in this weird labyrinth.
Yeah,
I mean, just like I was gone for less than a full day of work.
Hey, don't worry, that pile's still waiting for him to be able to do.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of like in that it does take away from it, but I like that they try to work it in. I liked it that they had some kind of scene, because they had to make it shorter, because at the same time you have Damien is missing, and Damien's been captured by the Court of Owls, so you can't have Bruce Wayne missing for weeks.
Well,
Isn't he
if you're
captured by the
gonna
Court of
do
Owls, or
it.
no, he broke free, didn't he, during this time? No, wait, no, he didn't break free, never mind.
No.
He wasn't captured yet, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, he wasn't captured at that
Okay.
point.
Yeah, because it's when you have him go insane that when you have the whole Flash scene, that's when you have like the Damian Wayne flash forward, which is kind of weird to me.
Oh,
It's really weird.
Yeah.
Because this, I think I mentioned it like in our chat. This is like a design that was brought up like in the 90s, and I don't know why they would use it here, but they did.
you know who he looks like?
Nah.
He looks like Hush.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
Yeah, like
But
a combination of Hush and Flashpoint Batman.
Yeah, but I also think it's kind of shitty to like yell at Bruce because it works differently. I think in the 90s comic, but when they bring it up here, Damien's been Robin for like a year. So it's like really weird to be like, oh, Bruce, if you let Damien continue on the path he's going, he'll end up being like the worst person ever.
Yeah, which is not what he saw when he was whacked out on drugs. He saw his parents turning into owls. It was terrifying. Like the way it was done was horrifying in the comic book. Damien's not even in the comic book.
God, I really need to read that Court of Owls comic. It sounds amazing.
It's great.
You definitely should.
I'm gonna read it as soon as we're done with this recording.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
I didn't realize until you said it, like you were saying earlier, that it was something different, and it's weird to have it in here. I agree.
There's
Just
There's a part of this I like too that ends up becoming more prominent in the next movie, which is the budding relationship between Dick and Damien.
I like the relationship though in this. I mean, it's really changed from Son of Batman, but I like it.
I did like their interaction here. It was really nice to see Damian Wayne get his cape pulled over his face and just punched. I was just like, yeah, do it. I may have rewound it a couple times and watched it more than once.
It's a good little scene. And I do laugh when they have that small scene with Nightwing where he's on the phone with Starfire and he's like, "You're wearing what?" With the lace? Oh my god. It's great. I find it hilarious. He's like, "And the phone?" Oh.
Don't tell me anymore, alluding very cleverly to the fact that Dick Grayson has an outside life, because you don't really see it in this movie. You have
No,
to
you don't see it at all. I mean, you see it in, I think, the Judas Contract. There's a little bit of that with Starfire.
Yeah, a little bit. Little
Which
jokey, flirty.
Yeah. So it was cool to have that here to kind of have like that interconnecting piece to what goes on farther on.
Yeah, but like it wasn't, I don't know. It was nice to have it. I don't think it was needed.
No, it's not.
So I have a weird question for both of you.
Sure.
How well versed are you in like fictional and literal law?
Not very.
I guess it depends on what you're asking.
So there's a scene later on where Damien and Talon go after a mob boss, and Talon's trying to get Damien to kill him. And thankfully, Damien actually has a smart thing, and he's like, "We can't kill this dude, blah blah blah, whatever." And Damien's like, "Oh no, there's enough evidence to put him away." I thought like if Batman found evidence, like it's like admissible in court, it's like, "Oh, you want us to believe we find evidence from a big man dressed as a bat?"
Okay. Yes. Any evidence they found would have to be missed in court, or would not be able to be used in court. But now, if Batman was to plant said evidence and the police were kind of crooked, which it is the Gotham PD, then yes.
Hey, Batman doesn't plant evidence.
So but yes, it's completely against. It'd be thrown out in court.
Now,
Hey,
Yeah.
that's why Joker keeps getting out of jail all the time. They're like, "How'd you get the evidence again?" It was Joe. Joe got it for us. Yeah. There's no Joe in the office. It's that Joe. They aren't very good detectives, I guess.
That's why you gotta have a plan. You gotta call the cop. You gotta say, "Boy, oh boy, look at this nice restaurant. Oh my goodness, look on that table. Look at all that evidence. What the heck? Oh goodness, I'm out. Bye." There you go.
It wouldn't be a mistake. So I thought it was cool to have that. Like, I mean, because again, the whole other theme of this movie is justice versus vengeance, and the idea is that Talon is vengeance, and Batman is Justice. He must have not met Robert Pattinson at this point then.
Yeah,
well, I mean, look. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, look how well it works for Talon, though.
Not very well. Oh, one thing I want to talk about is that scene when Talon finally just goes to hell on the Court of Owls because they tell him to kill Robin, and I think somebody calls him trash, like gutter trash, and he's like, "Fuck you," and he just starts murdering all the rich white people.
Yeah,
it's a good scene.
It's fun to watch. It is definitely fun to watch, but that is very much not in his character.
No, I mean it fits. I think it fits this Talon. Because what he's all up to, his whole he's just trying to take over the Court of Owls and get money, and I don't think he's still a thief at heart. You didn't see it that way?
Like, I don't know. It seemed like he was very much trying to, like, it seemed like he wanted to believe that he was this better person. Like, that he was a hardcore believer in the Court of Owls because, they raised him. They gave him a home.
Yeah.
That seemed to be the whole thing that they were going for. And then it just meant nothing and he killed everybody?
Okay. I see where you're coming from.
Like,
I also thought at first when he killed the Grand Master that he didn't know it was the girl he was sleeping with. Obviously he does. But the way I took it was that he didn't know it was her, that he didn't know she was a Grand Master because I didn't know she was a Grand Master. I thought it was a guy. So.
Like, I mean, I don't know. It doesn't make a lot of sense, any of his actions toward the end there. But like I said, it was fun to watch.
It's a good scene.
Very fun to watch.
It's a really good scene.
I kind of get it because like the whole thing with Talon is his whole thing is he sees himself in Damien. And he also, even though it's not as bad as him, he still sees a kid who's being abused by his dad, even though it's not to an extreme. It's just really I need to keep this kid in check because he could probably kill half of Gotham in one night if he really wanted to.
Now, here's my question. He kept making some mad assumptions about Damien being like, oh, you're from the gutter, just like me. No, he's not. He's not, I promise you.
I think it's just because if any kid is in, like, he associated Damien being Robin and fighting crime with what his dad taught him to do, was to be a cat burglar and then beat the shit out of him when he failed. He associated that same type of thing, I think, with him for some reason.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, it's completely different context because, I mean, it's not... But he's also an idiot, so I guess I don't know.
Well,
that's fair.
He also
and then his whole plan near the end is to take Damien and turn Damien into a Talon also. I guess because he puts him in the juice to make him turn into a Talon eventually to freeze him. Except that isn't how it works. Okay.
I love how you call it the juice.
I couldn't think of a word.
I think that there's also a scene that also helps Talon's backstory a little bit, which is like he thinks they're kind of fucking weird as well because they show him the Talon army and how it's like, oh yeah, look, you can have immortality, and he's like, what, for 24 hours at a time, and you gotta go sit in a tube. Like it is a really fucking weird way just to wish to be immortal.
Yeah.
I feel like in the comics it was different. I feel like they had more time.
It was better in the comics.
No, I know. Like the Talon in the comics, he could be out forever at that point because they do like nickel or something was in their blood, or I forget. It's been a bit. We haven't read it in over a year or two since we did it on the show.
Like this movie added a whole bunch of inconveniences for the Court of Owls to make them less powerful than they actually are.
Yes.
Which is absolutely mind-blowing. Like, in the comic, those 3 Talons that Batman fights in the museum in the movie, there would never be 3 Talons in the comic because one Talon beat the ever-living Christ out of Batman so many times.
Yeah, you don't need more than one.
So, when you have multiple, all of a sudden, that's terrifying. But this...
And he holds his own. Like, I mean, you have the final scene coming up that we have to talk about. And, where the Talon sends all the other Talon, he wakes them up after he kills the Court of Owls and sends them after Bruce Wayne, and you have the whole effect of them barging at the mansion, which is from the comics, but it's done better in the comics.
Mm-hmm.
But it was still a cool scene, but at the same time, like, it goes to what you were saying, is that he really kind of, like, him and Nightwing are holding their own, fighting tons of these guys. I mean, Nightwing gets his ass beat and gets stabbed with a bunch of spears, which looks terrible, while the knives grab him in the different limbs and stuff. Ugh.
Oh, yeah. Everybody got fucked up in this fight, though.
But
So
yes, Joe.
is this a rolling joke in these goddamn fucking movies just to have a scene that makes me fucking uncomfortable? Because the first movie you have Damien like ripping his whole hand through a knife, and in this one you see Dick getting stabbed in like pretty much every limb, and then being slowly dragged away.
Ooh, yeah.
They are uncomfortable.
They're big on trauma, these movies.
Definitely a way to put that.
They love their trauma.
But it's a good. I like all that fight, and I like the fact that you show Damien escape from the tube that he put him in, and then he then he goes to join him, and he's the one that tells them, which means nothing. He says, "Oh, sub-zero temperatures will freeze them." Which, I mean, okay, it does mean something, but it's not in the same way the comic does it, and it wasn't as good. But like the fight leading up to it, I enjoy everything as they're escaping through the mansion, trying to. It's still not as good as the comic. I'm going to say for like the fourth time, but I still really got a kick out of seeing it on in a movie, animated. It was still cool to see in moving pictures.
Yeah, okay, fine. Like that was a pretty cool sequence. I won't lie. I can't.
And then you get the Bat Mech finally near the end of it when they get all the way into the Batcave.
Yep.
It's not as badass as the comic. I felt that it did it because the comic did it where it's like very last minute. He barely gets it up and running in time. Where this is close but didn't feel as pressure as it does in the comic, if I'm remembering correctly.
Mm-hmm.
But still, it was a good scene. And you see Alfred with a shotgun. I don't know why, but I really like Alfred with a shotgun.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Alfred with a shotgun's fun.
Yeah,
He's just going out, you just shoot. I mean, because again, they can kind of let loose on them because they're all dead, so it doesn't matter.
Oh no, that's Alfred in general.
Oh yeah, you probably don't
Yeah.
have a no-kill thing.
Yeah, there's some other really funny comic panel where like I think it's the Riddler. The Riddler tries to break into like Bruce Wayne's mansion. I think he figures out that Batman's Bruce Wayne, and Alfred just straight up shoots him in the chest. And he's like, "I thought you guys had a no kill rule." He's like, "They do. I'm the Butler, and I've been here forever."
Like, I don't follow that stupid rule.
Yeah, it's a bullshit rule. He's also like 70.
Yeah, what are they gonna do?
But I don't know. I just the mech I thought was just so good. And there's a small comment where Talon's talking to Nightwing's like, "You would have made a great Talon." I'm like, because it's a joke from the comics.
It's funny.
It shouldn't be here.
It's going to be. No, it shouldn't, because all it does is remind you there's something better with this in it.
Yeah, but I mean, you got to think about the audience of some of these movies are people who never even who will never read these comics, who are just like, "Oh, look, the movie's out. I'm going to pick this up on DVD."
Weird thing that I could bring up. You know how like Batman Arkham Knight has like a bunch of different costumes for the characters?
Mhm.
Yes.
Gotham Knight does as well, and the entire team get Court of Owl outfits, and they're all peak fantastic.
I want to
What?
play that game.
I wait like another.
Oh, I don't
2
buy any.
weeks.
Oh, I'm waiting a lot longer.
Oh no, it'll be like half off this Black Friday, guaranteed.
Oh, I'm waiting for it to be $10 in a year, and then I'll buy it.
I'll pay 30 for it.
It's probably worth 30. I'm just waiting. It's me. I mean, I got
I don't have anything I can play this on, so I'm never gonna play this.
yeah, because it's unfortunately only on next gen. I heard Steam Deck can run it, because I don't think my PC could even run it, but I think Steam Deck can run it.
Be
Which is
surprised
odd
what
to me.
Steam Deck can run.
I am actually. I'm also surprised. I think the main game playing on Steam Deck is Vampire Survivors 2, so I'm pretty sure. Because I'm in a Steam Deck group, and I swear all they talk about is Vampire Survivors. So,
It's a great game.
but no, it is a good game. But
It's
like, no, I just
deck, but whatever.
I play other stuff on it too. But so I with the mech. The one question I had is, what was the mech designed for? Like, I always feel like the mech was designed to fight Superman, not to fight Talons. But I like the fact that he's making it
I
nonetheless.
feel like the mech was just designed as plot armor.
Okay.
Like, I don't know. I probably was a Superman contingency plan at one point, because it does look very similar to the armor that he uses to fight in Dark Knight
Knight.
Returns.
Yeah, I've never read that story. I've only seen the 2 movies. It's been a long time.
Oh boy.
Wait, no, I did read the story once. Never mind. I saw the 2 movies and I read the story, but it's been a long time for all 3 of those.
The other weird moment in this movie is we have Bruce in the Batmech, and then Talon swoops down in the Batmobile, like shooting live ammunition at Bruce Wayne, which is weird.
That the Batmobile had live ammunition.
That was so funny.
It's weird though, too. It's funny and it's weird because also like, isn't the Batmobile supposed to be like unhackable?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but this dude just got in and drove.
Oh look, it's.
I didn't catch that. Okay.
Oh my god.
And then Batman gets his ass beat. I mean, Damien the one that beats Talon, except I don't really like how Talon dies, that he pretty much just commits suicide.
Well, he literally forces Damien to kill him.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I would have rather had him die in some other way, but I guess that makes more sense because like what you said.
Like, oh yeah, you're gonna cross your line and I'm gonna make you do it.
Yeah. Okay.
I absolutely love the way Talon dies for like 3 completely separate reasons. One being that he makes Damien do it, but he looks behind Damien and he sees that Bruce is watching. So he's like, I know this will be like the final nail in the coffin. So even if I do die, you know, they'll probably end up going at each other's throats because of this. And then you also have him leave like his weird what is it called? Pocket watch in Damien's hand, and Damien goes, ugh, and he drops it.
Yeah. Because he's trying to turn Damien into what he was.
Failed horribly.
Yeah. Because he underestimated him. He underestimated what he thought created him to be a madman. I think it was already there.
Or
I guess maybe the idea they're going for.
Like,
No, I still like. I mean, I would have rather had him die a different way. I think, but it was still good. But I do like the fact that almost most of the issues in this movie can all be contributed to Batman. So.
Yeah, Batman needs some therapy.
I mean, and he does tell Robin, like, he's like, okay, go to this monastery, and then Robin just leaves, and you kind of see it as the movie ends that Robin did go to that monastery. How the hell he traveled cross the world, but hey, I guess you got money, you can do whatever you want. So
yeah, I mean that's pretty much the rule that life is teaching us. So yeah.
It is.
We're topical here at Games of Mom Pod, folks.
Yeah, try. But I liked it. It bothered me less than in the Incredible Hulk movie when Edward Norton goes from whatever country he's in South America all the way to New York, because this made sense. This guy is rich, so I'm like, okay, I can see it there. He's begging. Nope, don't believe it. But this, I believe. Damien
stole the Bat credit card.
I mean, I like to believe that he's either had money. I mean, he's freaking. You have somebody that rich. They're not really. Money isn't thing like it would be to someone like us. Hey, where'd I put that $100,000? Oh, who knows? Whatever. I got. It's that. This doesn't matter. Yeah.
Cool. Way to make me feel bad.
About what?
About not having money.
We're not rich white men, sorry.
Damn it.
We're both white men, but we're not rich white men.
I'm only kind of white.
Okay, I'm completely white, but...
I'm not white.
No, I know.
I'm white-ish. We'll say that.
And then I think that... And then you have a conversation with Nightwing and Batman, and... I mean, I like how you have Nightwing throughout this movie also kind of tell Batman, like, man, you don't know what the hell you're doing as a dad.
Yeah,
I do like that, too.
You got to give him space. You got to... both he and Alfred are like, Batman, you suck.
Yeah.
Bruce, you're not a good dad.
Isn't that part of, like, Dick's backstory, too? Is that whenever he turned 18, he just got sick of Bruce and then left?
Yeah. You suck at being a father. I'm going to go live in Bloodhaven or whatever.
Because that's where... I do want that comic, though. I'll never get it, but I do want that comic. I've seen it when it was cheaper. First appearance Nightwing. It ain't cheap now, I'm sure, but it was cheaper back then. All right, and then the last scene is you see Damien on the Himalayan mountains or wherever it looks like going to the monastery that he was told about, and then that's the end of the movie. And so that brings us to Shelf Stacker Box. I'll go first. So this is a movie I've been wanting to watch for a long time. I had a great time watching it. I really, really enjoyed it. Like, I watched this movie twice, which I don't do. Especially since I watched this last night. I finally got around to finishing it this morning, and then I went and watched it all over again, and I really enjoyed it. So this is going on the shelf, and I'm so glad we finally covered it. Took us we've been meaning to do this for a little while, so I'm glad we finally did it. So it's going on the shelf. What about you, Joe?
This is also the shelf for me. I really like the New 52 movies. I think they're, as much as this completely butchers a lot of the comics, I think they're fine. They're enough to sit there and have someone go, well, maybe I should. Like me, I've never read the Court of Owls comics, but now I really want to.
You should.
With how you guys have been talking about it. So I think they're all fine movies for you to either someone who's never watched comic or read comics or someone who's never seen the series to get into, and then use that as a stepping stool to actually get into all this stuff.
And again, the audience isn't like me and Cam, people who read the comic. I think the audience is just other people too. So
yeah.
And what about you, Ken?
I know I talked a whole lot of shit, but I would actually put this on the stack.
Okay.
Like, I don't think it's definitely not some bad movies that I'm sure we're going to touch on at some point.
Oh God, yes.
But like, it's not something that I absolutely hate. There's some great action scenes in here. Al Yankovic as the doll maker is just terrifying. Please, for the love of God, somebody give him a serial killer to play, please. Like, he'd be so good.
You can watch his new movie on Roku right now.
Yeah, it just came out today. I'm very excited. I'm gonna watch it this weekend.
I should watch it. I saw it on there.
Like, there's just a lot that could have been better about this movie, but it's not as bad as it could have been. And I think part of it is just watching Damien Wayne get the shit kicked out of him.
Just did it for you.
Like, that's, oh God, it just made me so happy. It happens multiple times too. I love it. I love it because I hate Damien Wayne. I know it's not healthy to have this much hate for a child.
And a fictional character. It's okay.
I know it's not healthy. I know I may have some, I don't know, problems, whatever. I don't care. It's a comic book. I don't care. Fuck Damien Wayne. He's a piece of shit.
He'll be a child for another decade, so it's fine. It's not that weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, when they do change him to an adult, though, they'll have to, it's going to get to a point where you got to make, like, Batman's had too many different wards at this point. You can't exactly keep doing that.
Yeah.
So.
I think they should make him a villain. That's what I want.
Okay.
I want Damien Wayne to actually take control of the League of Shadows. I want him to be straight up villain.
Oh, you get that wish, Kenny.
Damn it.
Yeah, what is it? They have the new comic where Batman technically does get another ward, which is the comics of the Batman Beyond, where they kind of make the TV show canon, and then they also add their own stuff to it, and it becomes more adult too. And one of the things they do is Terry McGinnis is like, "Hey, Bruce, whatever happened? Didn't you have a son?" He's like, "Oh yeah, he fucked off and became the leader of the League of Shadows, and we won't talk anymore because he's a shithead." And Terry and Damien have a full-on 3 comic fight.
Ooh,
that's cool.
Might have to watch that because I think it'd be worth it.
Read it's a comic.
Oh, read it. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool though.
Yeah, it's not out yet. Hopefully soon they'll turn it into animated stuff because Batman Beyond needs a lot more love than it needs to.
Yeah, they only had the one anime movie which we covered on the show. I think you were on it a long time ago.
Yeah,
but
it
does not get enough love.
I want Phantasm. I want to see. I know Phantasm comes back in comics. Give me this.
That's cool. I need to read more Batman comics.
Same.
Oh, right. Any last things you want to say that we missed before we go to plug?
Fuck Damien Wayne.
Okay. So if you want to hear more Batman talk, we did Son of Batman, Film 38, which is the one right before this that I should have maybe opened with, but I didn't want to. But yeah, go check that out if you haven't heard that one. The Batman, Film 35, Batman Arkham Knight DLC, Season Infamy, Mini 24, Batman Arkham Knight, Episode 185, great fucking episode, Batman Assault at Arkham, Film 33, Batman Year 1, Film 30, Batman Arkham Origin DLC, Cold Heart, Mini 19, Batman Under the Red Hood, Film 28, Batman War of Jokes and Riddles, Comic 35, Batman Arkham Origins, Blackgate, Episode 159, Batman Beyond Return of the Joker, Film 23, Batman Court of Owls, Comic 33. You should read that comic and then listen to that episode. Batman Haunted Knight, Comic 32, Batman Arkham Origins, Episode 139, Batman Massive Phantasm, Film 18, Batman Arkham City DLC, Harley Quinn's Revenge, Mini 13, Batman Arkham City 118, Batman Arkham City, Comic 24, Batman The Killing Joke, Comic 22, Batman Arkham Asylum, Episode 97, and then Batman The Long Halloween, Comic 17, Batman Death of the Family, Comic 8, Batman Hush, Comic 3, and then Batman Genesis Game, Episode 3. All right, that's all the Batman stuff we have covered so far that's published.
Jesus Christ.
24. Batman's the most of anything I've done. Batman and Star Wars are the 2 top ones.
So we're Batman.
Oh, there's more Batman. We already got other Batman stuff planned, so.
Oh, yeah.
Depending on when you... Yeah, so, yeah, there's other stuff coming. All right. You got me to enjoy doing more Batman stuff. And my goal is to do all the I want to do all the DC animated movies in general. Or all the DC, whatever DC movies you end up doing. And I want to do all the Batman stuff. Definitely at some point. All right. And if you enjoyed this episode, you can go listen to our Batman stuff. You can go listen to you can get our whole catalog on Podbean. You can find everything we do. We have over 400 episodes that we have done. So we do comics, movies, TV shows, games, TV seasons. We do all sorts of stuff. So check out our giant catalog. I want to give a shout out to my awesome intro and outro, courtesy of Helena at Hell Hasfair. You can follow her on TikTok. And if you want to help out the show, we do have a Patreon. You'll see a link in the show notes. For as little as $1, you can vote in Patreon polls. We have one every month. You can also join our Discord and chat with us. You can, you'll see a link in the show notes to our Discord channel. And also, if you want to, and another friend of the show, Bill Tucker, started his own podcast, A Gamer Looks at 40. Definitely go check him out. He started his own podcast. And please follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and on YouTube. I think that's everything I need to say, so we will see you guys all next time. Bye, everybody.
So long, y'all.
See ya.